Hold on, everybody.
Mine's also blue.
Our mics are not on.
Red now.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Mine-
Green.
Do you want us to do it again?
Mine's green.
Okay, great. We're
Mine's
starting
green
over.
and red.
You know exactly how it's going to go.
There we go.
Are we starting live again?
Yeah, you are all set.
Great. Perfect. Let's do it again. Let's make it even better this time.
All right.
back to one, everybody?
No.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode, a special bonus episode of the CFA Cinematography for Actors podcast. We are live from the VIP Lounge at the Chinese Theatre in Hollywood as the official podcast partner of the 19th annual Oscar qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival. I am one of your co-hosts, Indiana Underhill from CFA, co-founder and a DP. My other co-founder, Haley, is here, who is an actor.
Hi.
Haley Royal, everyone. And joining me from Merman at HollyShorts is Sterling Hampton IV, director of Merman. Welcome. And we have Adam Shattuck, who is the DP. We love a director-DP duo, so welcome.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Yeah, doing all right.
Cool.
Doing all right.
Yeah. We had to do this twice, so I apologize for anyone that was watching our live, but you can see how show business is, baby.
If we seem extra laid back,
Yeah.
because we already know how to do this.
We do, sometimes. Merman, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of it all, can you talk to us about what Merman's about?
Sure. Merman is about a 59-year-old black queer man who speaks his truth about his life as an emergency nurse, leather enthusiast, title holder, husband, and civil rights advocate.
Very cool.
We shot it in 7 hours out in Palm Springs, and it incorporates several different visual mediums, including traditional filmmaking, digital filmmaking, of course, and 2D animation, 3D animation, and some other animation. So, yeah.
Sorry, you shot an entire short film in 7 hours?
Yeah, fun stuff. Just us and my other friend, and we kind of just rocked and rolled it. So
That's
wow.
awesome. Now, in order to do that, have you guys worked together before? How did you meet?
Yeah, quite a bit. We've known each other 6-7 years now, something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we met at the production company that we were both interning at, and then we were both kind of just shadowed on our roles, so we both left and started doing our own things.
Wow, very cool.
Like through that process, we've shot music videos for the likes of different, artists and such, and a couple shorts, and now this one. So it's been a great
Collaboration.
relationship. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And so, do you think your ability to shoot something in 7 hours is because you share a common language visually?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. What are your favorite things about your collaboration in terms of the visuals? What are the things that you keep coming back to, whether through music video or short film? Is it a type of style? Do you always kind of go animation route, or is this the first time you've done that?
First time animation route, but I think the sort of visual language that we enjoy at this moment in time is sort of taking the sort of stylistic elements of a Wes Anderson, perhaps, with like the framing and the, everybody's kind of like on that vibe right now, I feel especially like TikTok and such. But that's kind of been like what informed this project and our last project to some degree.
Great.
With bits and pieces of like just, handheld, just rock and roll, run around and guerrilla type shooting. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
and roll.
Adam, for the
Yes.
animation side of things,
Yeah.
was it your first time as a DP tackling that, or how did you kind of approach when Sterling wanted to bring animation into the film? How did you approach it?
We talked about that from the beginning, wanting to incorporate some animation, and then one of the forms of animation, we took stuff that we shot and then animated that. So we had to be a little bit cautious about that, making sure we got the right stuff we needed. But it
Wow.
was the first time directed with me working with animation in that aspect.
Wow. And what was the decision on doing multiple forms of animation as a storytelling tool?
Just felt fun
Cool.
afterward. I was
Okay.
like, oh, you know what? I'd love to do some 2D here, some 3D here. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Let's try that also. And,
Great.
then it became like a love story of a love letter of visual mediums
Mm-hmm.
all working in concert together. So it was just kind of like a spontaneous situation there.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes nothing drives a project like having fun with it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
and
having
experimenting.
if
Yeah.
you're having a good time experimenting, sometimes that turns into the best thing you can possibly create. What sort of conversations were you having? I mean, it's the two of you, but I'm sure you also have other people helping you along the way. What sort of discussions are you having with them to make sure that you have the tone? You're creating the tone of this fun story that you want to create, and that everyone's on the same page.
What other people?
Are you telling me nobody did anything on this film except for the two of you?
We had my colleague, Monica Lawless. She's my go-to producer for all my projects. She came out, and yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. What kind of stuff did you talk about with her to make sure that she understood the story you were trying to tell?
She came out and supported, you know.
Great.
She runs all my budgets and stuff for other projects, of course.
Right.
But
Uh-huh.
that was like, let's just run out here and have some fun, guys.
And she's just game,
Yeah.
no matter what.
I directed, edited, shot, colored, and scored the project.
Wow.
He shot it with me. That was sort of what we did in the last one too.
Wow.
So
Incredible.
these are short films. It's like, all right, cool. Let's just go in with a shoestring crew,
Yep.
run
Uh-huh.
around,
Yep.
get it done. That's of course a way different workflow than when we have our music videos or bigger projects where it's 20 people and then we have entire production, coordinators and gaffers and things of that nature. So,
Right.
but with shorts, this kind of like just three people and a vision and hunger to make something cool.
Oh,
3 people, 7 hours.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Having
And
fun.
Merman was great.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about the tools you used for AI animation. So how do you define AI animation, and what tools were the most helpful in the process of creating that?
Fun subject. So I think that currently AI is a tool that needs high regulation so that, one, it's only used to augment and help and enhance the creative process for human beings. And I think what we did with this process was I sort of just wanted, right now AI is very crude in its essence of creation. So that in and of itself kind of creates this unique style to it because it's crude. So I just kind of wanted to make this significant in utilizing it in this particular stage until, because it'll get perfect and more perfect, and it's going to get kind of gnarly and weird, and we're going to navigate this the best of our ability, all of us in the industry. But yeah, I think it was just like a new medium, like anything else. When you discover a camera for the first time and you're shooting slow-mo and you're saying, okay, let's use this to do this and achieve this style over here. It's another sort of medium. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so for the actual tools, if filmmakers listening to this are looking to get into AI animation to generate that for filmmaking, where do they start?
I mean, there's all kinds of different tools that exist on the internet. Some of the mainstream ones that have already been kind of discussed in the mainstream media. But yeah, you just kind of, it's really just like a trial and error process of inputting values into the engine and then trying to refine that process until you arrive at your particular desired effect or results, if you will.
Got it.
I will say, to your earlier question, though, about who we spoke with about the project, afterwards, I did show it to a couple of colleagues, one by name of Ben Moore, an amazing, talented director, producer, and multi-hyphenate, and I am, of course. So, and he gave the kind of thumbs up, too, like, this is cool. So I have folks that we go to and ask their ideas about things. And
Yeah.
Almost like
afterwards.
your test audience.
Yeah, exactly.
We love
Yeah.
a test audience.
That's
Yeah.
great. And Adam, what was the thing that was most exciting to you about the process of kind of working through like and experimenting with new things?
I think with this, it was about the process of so many different mediums. So we did standard cinematography with like a red and some nice lenses. We had a VHS cam that we did some B-roll stuff with, and then incorporating the 3 different kinds of animation. That was always exciting going into it.
Wow. And from an emotional standpoint, what do you think what would you like the audience's biggest takeaways to be from the film?
I think that because there's so many different layers of humanity showcased in the project, I think it's important or interesting that I think when anybody watches the film, you can identify with at least one part of his life. And that's beautiful because then, if you're not aware of the different other parts of this human being and the communities and the different themes, you can also begin to empathize with other parts of him that maybe aren't as close to you. And then you can say, okay, well, if I identify with him being an emergency nurse, for example, then why can't I empathize also with some of his other themes or other parts of him, if that's the case? So I think that's beautiful. I think that's kind of the gesture and the idea is that we're all different, and the things that make us different are the things that make us beautiful.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
I'd love to ask one more question about the casting for the project. So how did you choose your cast? What was that process like for the outside of the animation, because you have traditional cinematography techniques as well. You have, I think, here. So how did you kind of go about casting for it, or voiceover?
Sure. For this short doc, I was just on Instagram explore page for like 2 hours. I was like, I want to make another one of these short docs. Let's just see what we can find real quick. And I found this photographer's page who attended a leather enthusiast event. And I saw this amazing picture of my subject, Andre, aka Merman,
Yes.
in a leotard in a black and white picture. And I thought to myself, this person looks so interesting. I need to understand.
Tell their story or
Exactly.
Yeah.
And after a DM and a 30-minute conversation over the phone, I learned so much about Andre and an entire community and myself, and we agreed to make a thing.
Wow.
And that thing became this 10-minute short film.
Wow. And so it's all about trusting your gut
Sure.
through the creative process and reaching out. That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Well, we have to wrap things up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You screened last night, Merman. However, it should also be on bitpixtv.com, which is the virtual fest that is ongoing while HollyShorts is happening in person in California. So if you weren't here for the screening of Merman, you can go check it out online right after this interview.
Still see it. Find out about Andre.
All about it. Thank you, Sterling and Adam. Such a pleasure. We have our director, Sterling Hampton IV, and we have Adam Shattuck, who is the DP. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
Good later.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been another episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. Follow us on wherever you listen to your podcast to keep up to date on new episode releases. We will be live through August 20th here at HollyShorts Film Fest. If you're here, drop in and say a little hello at the VIP lounge. We also want to thank our sponsors, Apogee, Film Tools, Roscoe, Lightstone Rentals, Canon, and First Mile Tech. As a special gift to you listeners, we've partnered with We Make Movies to get you a discount on comprehensive production insurance packages. Use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote by visiting wemakemovies.org/insurance.
If you missed any of our live streams, you can watch all of our interviews on our YouTube channel, Cinematography for Actors. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Cinematography for Actors. You can also catch us in a more formal setting on Monday, August 14th at Japan House for a panel discussion on the importance of bridging the gap between talent and crew. You can get 20% off of your ticket purchase by using the code HSFF2023CFA at checkout.
Thanks!